Hello everyone, Josh first back again, bringing you guys some more 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, and today we're going to quickly take a look at some of the characters that you should be considering using for the new guild boss and how they can help you, of course, increase your score. So, let's go in here to the heroes really quick. This will be a pretty short video. We're just going to briefly go over some of these units. Now, Arthur, he's going to be a very good pickup to use because of this right here, his skill buff. Of course, you can remove debuffs from all allies, increase basic stats by 30%, and grant debuff immunity for 3 turns. So, because of doing that, since he gives you increased base stats, you're getting 3 buffs per character when you use a rank 2 buff or more. So, it is very, very good when you do that because it's going to allow you to have a lot more buff points from the actual initial run. So, that's one good option. Another good buffer, of course, is also going to be your boy Green Hellbrum. I'm sorry, your Green Gil Thunder. We'll get to Hellbrum in a minute. So your boy Green Gil Thunder. Another unit here with a really good buff skill. Increase attack of all eyes by 60% for 3 turns. Now this will help you get your damage numbers a lot higher. And you're getting the 30% like right off the bat on a, on a bronze, on a rank 1. Rank 2 goes up to 40. And then if you can somehow get very lucky early in the fight and get a rank 3 gold, you're going to hit 60%. So it's really going to help with your DPS when you go in for the final blow to maximize those points. So Arthur, Gil Thunder, both really exceptional. I feel like I lean a little bit towards more Gil Thunder for the damage output, big bonus points over the actual buff points. But if you don't have Gil Thunder build up, maybe Arthur is the way to go. Or vice versa. So there you guys go. Now, one of our biggest DPSs, of course, in the game right now, especially for this event, will be our girl Jericho because of her ult. Inflicts spike damage equal to whatever your damage output's going to be depending on your skill level. Pair her up with a Gila, for example, to get the combination attack to increase that further. And of course, spike is 2 times crit damage increase, so you'd want to run her with attack and crit damage, or all crit damage, or even crit and crit damage, whatever kind of setup that you have to maximize the damage output with her, and then hope that she crits to try and maximize your points. And you want to try and set that up as quickly as possible. And one unit right now that a lot of people are experimenting with to try and get her to, of course, get to her ult pretty quickly is actually Green Elizabeth, because Green Elizabeth's ult, which we'll show you guys right here, Green Elizabeth's ult right here is heals HP of all allies equal to 420% of attack, and fills the ultimate move gauge by 2 orbs. So I'm sorry, 2 orbs. I don't know why I said 1, but it fills it up by 2 orbs, which is very, very good to, of course, be able to get certain characters to their ultimate sooner than later, which when you're in somewhat of a turn-sensitive type of format, which is a guild boss, where you actually start losing points the more turns you take, this type of skill could really help. Plus, you also get bonus points for doing an ultimate, and since it's not hitting boss, you don't got to worry about killing it either, and not getting that big damage that you want to get from your Jerichos, or of course, even your Green Meliodas is off of a counter, or another unit. And I don't want to go too much into Meliodas because he is an option, but I don't feel like he's one of the more optimal options. Jericho is definitely one of them. If you don't have Jericho, my personal second best pick right here is our girl, Blue Guardian Hawk and Elizabeth. Very, very solid because she also can allow you to start grabbing some of those buff points from her skill 2, and she has this bad boy, inflicts charge damage equal to 800% of attack on enemies, ignores defense. So this can be one of your big daddy attacks that you want to use. And to, of course, further elevate your attacks, you have Green Hellbrum. Green Hellbrum has a skill 2 that works perfectly with Gil Thunder or Arthur. Just very, very solid. I would prefer you run this with Gil Thunder more than anything else, because I feel like those two just go hand in hand. But since they are both green, you definitely want to build them up with a lot of HP and defense so they don't get taken out by the boss. I'm going to have to build mine up more, obviously, but that's a great 1-2 punch. Try and get a rank 2 or rank 3 on both those cards between him and Gil Thunder. That way you're getting more damage output for your Jericho or your Green Meliodas off of his counter, or of course even your Blue Elizabeth and Hawk. Now, you also have Red Bond, which is another option, the SSR Red Bond, Nunchuck Bond, whatever you want to call him. He works with debuff, so you can use him as well, because you can debuff bleed and shock and stuff like that from your Gil Thunders and your Jerichos, and those will stay there, or any other kind of DOT debuffer that you might want to run. So he can do a lot of damage there off of, the debuff, but most of the times you're trying to get the damage off of a freeze. So you also have Slater, you also have Blue Bond. Those are also sub option as well. They're not, you know, I would say not ideal, but when you guys are working with a limited team with limited resources, you got to do what you got to do. So some of you may not be able to top out on those 3, 4, 500,000 damage that you're going to see a lot of other players running with the Jerichos of the world and the Blue Meliodases and Hawks of the world, but still nonetheless not too bad. Another good option that you could run here, we've already talked about Hellbrim, we already talked about both the Elizabeths that you can run. That Elizabeth, by the way, the green one, is very good for healing if you're trying to keep some of your units alive for the first few turns while you're trying to do your setups. Merlin is another solid unit here because, of course, this is going to be one of the best things you can get out of this. Now, if you don't have Merlin, you also have Gustav, which is also fine. Just make sure you build him up with HP and defense so he doesn't die, because this boss is red. Keep that in mind. And Gustav is green. So is Guild Thunder, and so is Green Hellbrim. So keep that in mind, guys. But you want to try and set up for a rank 2 and rank 3 freeze. That way you're getting 80% additional damage and 200% additional damage to really maximize on that damage potential. And above all else, you definitely want to try and kill the boss as soon as possible with that high damage potential. So there you guys go. I made that video pretty damn quick for you guys. That's some of my personal picks, some of my options that you guys can run for this event. Hope you guys all enjoy. If you have other suggestions, let me know in the comment section below, but those are my personal picks. If we had Red Gotha right now, this would be a lot easier, but he's not here yet. Who knows when he'll drop, but there you guys go. So hopefully it was helpful. If it was, drop a like, comment below, tick notifications, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Until then, peace.